whenever we talk about Aaron, I think I want to give some perspective. 15 years ago, we take Aaron in the first round. Everyone hated it. The crowd below us at Lambeau Field booed so hard it shook our souls that we took Aaron Rodgers. And then it was 3 years, Rich. It was 3 years of managing these relationships where I'm dealing with Brett Favre's camp pretty much every week or so. Andrew, do you know what it's like to come into work every day and sit with your replacement? It's no fun. It's no fun. And then Aaron's camp would be, is he ever going to play? Like, Brett's never going to retire, so is he ever going to play there? What are you going to do? And you just try to be professional and tactful and understanding, but you don't have the answers. And if you did, you don't want to give the answers because you want to maintain flexibility as an organization to when you make the move and turn the keys over to Aaron Rodgers. So that's what happened. Now you fast forward 15 years, they've done the same thing again.
It's unbelievable.
And I said it the day they drafted Jordan Love. I hope they're ready to manage this. Forget about on the field. Are they ready to manage this? And this is what I mean about management. You're going to have agents and hurt feelings and wanting answers all the time, like all the time. And I don't know if they've managed it well because Aaron was a good soldier. He was, Brett called us seconds after the pick, and he was livid. But Aaron, said all the right things. But you could tell after the championship game, he was kind of like, what are we doing here? And I think the Packers all along, in my mind, I don't know inside knowledge on this, was to move to Jordan Love in 2022. And I get the sense that Aaron's like, well, what am I doing here? You want me to be a placeholder while I'm the MVP of the league. So I think it's the control of the timeline is what's at issue here.
Well, then there's a couple of questions of what you just said, I guess, in a preamble to start our conversation here, Andrew, is that there are some differences, one that I know and one that I'm wondering about. Let's start with the one that I'm wondering about. Did you guys give Favre a heads up that you were going to take Aaron Rodgers, or you couldn't really do that because you didn't expect him to fall down at 24 unless you watched Mike Mayock's preview on NFL Total Access days before the draft where he nailed it? So did you give Favre a heads up before making the pick or no?
We did not. And as you said, two things happened that night. Number one, all the players we had rated as first-round grades, except one, were taken. And the one that was still on the board was not taken by all these teams that had told him to his face if he was there, they'd take him. So we had a lot of conversation in those combustible moments before the pick, and the coaches are crazy. Like, why would we do that? He's not going to help us this year, maybe not next year, maybe never. And Ted Thompson, bless his heart, looked at me and everyone else and said, well, Andrew, what do we always say? Trust the board. Trust the board. And I said, Ted, Brett's going to be upset. Fans are going to be upset. Aaron's going to be upset coming to a cold place where he's not going to play. And he said, I don't care. We trust the board here. And he had that fortitude to do that. So, no, Brett did not find out to the rest of us. And like I said, he called the coach within seconds, and Bus Cook called me within seconds.
And what happened?
Bus is like, what the F?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? You want to replace him? And I just said, we have to prepare for the future. The organizations have to evolve. At some point, Brett is going to retire. There obviously been rumors up to that point. We got to be prepared. And then, as I said, it was the cavalcade over years of, it's not great walking into work every day, sitting with your replacement. That's no fun. And I said, I get that. But we've got to prepare as an organization.
And so what was Favre's commentary about? He called the coach right away. He called McCarthy right away?
No, it was the last year of Mike Sherman. And
okay.
He did call, and I think those conversations were ongoing. And
that's a good way to put it. Ongoing. I love it. Fantastic.
Well, ongoing until 3 years later.
Right.
He retires. We turn the team over to Aaron. And as I suspected, gosh, I wish he'd get the itch, and he did, of course. And there was that fateful day, I think it was June 20th, 2008. Mike McCarthy said 3 words that no player wants to hear. And he said it to a Hall of Famer that was the face of the franchise for 20 years. He said, "We've moved on." And when I heard, when I saw Bus and Brett hear those words, it was almost like, this is the most poignant words they ever heard. He said, "I'm sorry, we've moved on. And we were not going to take the keys from Aaron and give them back to Brett. That's just not what we're going to do."
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.